we got to look at no fault divorce is going to be. I think it's going to come to an end soon. They already eliminated affirmative action. They already eliminated in most states deletion of babies. Every law that the women are benefiting from right now is about to be eliminated. So I feel like there's no fault divorce is the next thing that's going to evolve. I wouldn't be surprised by that. So this may not be an issue maybe in the next 5 to 10 years.
The Supreme Court is getting more and more and more conservative, just basically because of who's the judges that are packed in the Supreme Court. So, I mean, they're overturning a lot of things right now, Hank. I agree with that part. I do want to get on a couple things like, the topic, why are men refusing to get married? I personally agree with all the points that Andrew Tate made. Like, I agree 1,000% in the sense of, you have to have defined roles in relationships and marriage and all that kind of stuff. You have to have divine feminine, you have to have divine masculinity, and what that looks like in your household. You have to go down the list on, what I'm responsible for, what you lean on me for, and what you're responsible for, and what I lean on you for. There's no way it's going to work unless you have those clear cut responsibilities, boundaries, understandings, and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that, men are refusing to get married, a lot of times, like you said, a lot of men don't feel like kings in their castle. That's a big ass problem. If you don't feel like king in your castle, why the hell do you want to come home? And that's what a lot of men sitting there, when they pull up to the house and sit in the driveway for 10, 15 minutes, trying to get their mom right before they walk in the door, because they're like, oh Lord, it's going to be screaming babies when I walk in the house. She's barely going to say something to me. And if she does say something to me, she's going to be yelling at me. It's going to be something that I did wrong, or something I didn't do, or something I forgot to do. And
no
I'm trying
food
to think of all the
you ain't
things
gonna
I'm
have nothing
supposed to be. What's that?
She ain't gonna have no food to eat for you.
Yeah, no hot food, nothing like that. And everything is your fault and everything is your responsibility. And you just have to make sure you have to cover it all, because she's not going to take accountability for any of it. She's a victim in everything because you're the one that impregnated her, and you're the one that put the ring on her finger. You're the one that put her in the house, and all the things that are happening and all the emotions that she's having is somewhat your fault. So yeah, there's a lot of men out there that feel like they're stuck in marriage. And then also, there's a good point that is not a great there's not a great infomercial on marriage right now. The thing is, like, I'm single. I do want to have a wife one day. I do want to do the whole thing, but I'm not incentivized to. Not in this culture, today's culture, and the way everything's set up. Kind of back to what the JR was talking about in the beginning of the show. Why are there enough wives out there? I think there's plenty of women in the world. Are there enough wives? And I think Shannon did a great job breaking down on, duty, honor, respect, all that type of stuff, femininity, submitting to your man. All those different things are huge. Get married for what? If you're getting married to a headache, if you're getting married to, a sexless marriage, if you're getting married to something that you don't feel as though you're respected in, there's a lot of men that's sitting there like, why should I do it? Why don't I just keep dating around and dating around? If I have a couple kids, that's cool. I'll pay for them, whatever, and raise them. But, why sign the marriage certificate? Why not have a long-term girlfriend going forward? And y'all decide to be life partners, and that goes as long as it goes. It can go all the way, or it can go for a few years, and just like a divorce would, except you're not going to be financially ruined. Sean's talking about, the NBA contract type of situation in marriage and whatnot. I mean, I was actually going down that road. My example was going to be like a football scholarship in college. Like it's a 1 year renewable contract is what it is.
8 months.
It's literally
8 months.
So
yeah, I mean, it annually comes up every year. So around like July, August timeframe, you have to re-sign your scholarship. So if you kept your grades up, you did the things you're supposed to do, you can't show up to workouts, You came and played, did what you're supposed to do. You get your scholarship renewed. Okay, we're gonna bring you back this year, son. We're gonna bring you back. Keep doing what you're doing, or the coaches like what you're doing. You're not on the PIP or nothing like that. Keep doing it. But if your grades slip, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You get in trouble. You get arrested or something like that. You're not gonna get renewed, buddy.
Sometimes they go in a different direction.
Hey, the team has to go in a different direction. We feel as though you don't have the right kind of leadership. You're not setting the right kind of example for the rest of the team. Everybody looking up to you, and you're not doing the right kind of things. So we gotta go a different direction. So yeah.
So B-Man, and this is actually something I've been thinking about as well. And I kind of want to apply. I kind of want to apologize to Cloud Jones, because we had this debate damn near probably about 2 or 3 months back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think another problem that the reason why men are refusing to get married is because I feel like men aren't being heard, and they're seeing it. So what happened? And Cloud Jones came on. Him and another young man kind of expressed the way that they felt about marriage, or the things that they felt that they were losing, and they were like, so what? And I felt like, and I'm just gonna say myself, I might have gaslit him into saying, well, it's you. You might be the problem. Well, maybe you need to start thinking about this and this way. And I just kept attacking him rather than listening and being like, okay. And what made me recognize that was because, again, I was watching this lady earlier today, and she was a dating coach, right? And she was trying to get men. She was trying to figure out why men were not dating single moms. And what happened was that she talked about, she made a broadcast about it, and men started responding to her. So she started reading through the comments, and she started hearing every single guy. And it's, I ain't got to go through the list of things. It was more of the same things that men have always complained about, right? And what she kept doing at the end of each point was attacking the guy. Well, maybe that was just somebody you dealt with. Or maybe if you would have thought of it this way, it would be different. Or maybe if you would have I think it might just be you. Instead of hearing these men and they're telling, because you're trying to sell them on, I'm trying to sell you on marriage. I'm trying to sell you on single mothers. And I'm hearing what you have to say. And instead of hearing you and being like, all right, well, let me go back to the drawing board to the other side and be like, hey, look, these are the men's grievances. These are the problems that they have with this. What can you do to go over there and ensure them that may not be something that they have to worry about, you as the woman? So I want to apologize, because that's something that I felt like I did in that moment, was that I kept telling him like what he may have been of that problem, and men weren't being heard, and they're still not being heard today. Every time you see men speak about what they don't like about marriage, what they don't like about the situation, the very first thing you hear people do is shame them for his thoughts, rather than listening and being like, well, now we have to go back to women and say, hey, these are the problems that men have with the reason why they're not getting married. What can you do on your end to ensure that these men don't have to worry about those type of things? How do you want to come to the table with this? Because you can't gaslight them into wanting to marry. They're not going to make the decision. They're going to say, no, that's not enough for me. So you can't gaslight them, and you're not convincing them because they're not marrying. So what can you do to incentivize? Because it's not my job or the men's job to incentivize men to want to get married. It's women's job. Y'all have to tell them what y'all gonna bring to them to ensure that make marriage palatable to men again.